Welcome to my blog post number 14. And in today's blog post, I'm just going to discuss about types of various project lifecycle that we use in project. So let's start. So basically, project lifecycle is actually the series of various phases that a project process through from its start to its completion. It provides the basic framework for managing the project. This basic framework applies regardless of the specific project work involved. The phases may be sequential, iterative, or overlapping. All projects can be mapped into generic life cycle. Project life cycles can be predictive or adaptive. Within a project life cycle, there are generally one or more phases that are associated with the development of product, service, or a result. These are called these are called a development life cycle. Development life cycles can be predictive, iterative, incremental, adaptive, or hybrid model. So first one is predictive life cycle. In predictive life cycle, the project scope, time, and cost are determined in early phases of the life cycle. Any changes to the scope are carefully managed. Predictive life cycles may also be referred to as waterfall life cycles. Then there's iterative life cycle. The project scope is generally determined early in the project life cycle, but time and cost estimates are routinely modified. As the project team's understanding of the product increases, iterations develop the product through a series of repeated cycles, while increments successfully add to the functionality of the product. Then third one is incremental life cycle, and in this life cycle, the deliverable is produced through a series of iterations that successfully add functionality within a predetermined time frame. The deliverable contains the necessary and sufficient capability to be considered completely only after the final iteration. So then fourth one is adaptive life cycle. Basically, these are agile, iterative, or incremental. The detailed scope is defined and approved before the start of an iteration. Uh, these life cycles are also referred to as agile or change-driven life cycles. Then fifth one is basically hybrid life cycle, and it is a combination of predictive and an adaptive life cycle. Those elements of the project that are well known or have fixed requirements follow a predictive development life cycle, and those elements that are still evolving follow an adaptive development life cycle. So it is basically up to the project management team to determine the best life cycle for each project with respect to the requirements that are coming in. The project life cycle needs to be flexible enough to deal with the variety of factors included in the project. Life cycle flexibility may be accomplished by uh, identifying the processes needed to be performed in each phase, performing the processes identified in the appropriate phases, adjusting the various attributes of the phases, for example, duration, exit criteria, and entrance criteria. So basically, project life cycles are independent of product life cycles, which may be produced by a project. So product life cycle is a series of phases that represent the evolution of a product from concept through delivery, growth, maturity, and to its retirement. So let's move to our next slide, which is actually star question. So today's star question is: work performance information is collected through execution and work as input into options are first option is quality data reporting process, the performance auditing process, audit control reports for PMP, and fourth one is